Yes, we're back, family. Welcome out there. You already know who this is. This is your host for the evening, Stevenson, all the way from West Palm Beach. I look forward to making this an amazing interview today. We have a beautiful young lady on the phone that we're about to interview. Trust me, you're going to enjoy another show. Again, as always, you guys, just sit back, relax, get your tea, get your coffee, get your milk, get whatever it is, get your glass of wine, and just get ready to let's go in on this next wonderful authoress, as I call them. Again, my name is Stephen Smith. I want to welcome each and every one of you guys to UBAWA Radio. As you always know what UBAWA Radio is, UBAWA. It means Urban Book Authors and Writers of America, where we are dedicated to the promotion of literacy and the advancement of authors and writers from unrepresented groups. Again, my name is Stevenson, and today's show we have a very special guest who goes by the name of Valarie S. Thomas. I have some Thomases in my family, by the way. So I want to welcome her to UBAWA Radio. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for taking out your time. I'm just going to give a little bit about the author, but I'm going to let her really delve into her book. I'm telling you guys, this is a dish. This is a full meal that's coming forth, so you guys get ready to be filled. Just a little bit about Miss Valarie. She was born in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. She attended the University of North Carolina at Charlotte and the University of West Florida. She gained a BA in History and Secondary Education and an MA in Acquisition Management. Valarie currently teaches middle school history. God bless you, Miss Valarie, with the children, because they need somebody like you.
I need it.
She currently lives in Hampton, Virginia, with her husband and their two children. Her love of writing has seen Valarie write her debut novel entitled The Griot. I have a story about that later. It is a story of a young girl who is forced into a society that keeps the deceitful secrets of their nation, and is also available through Amazon right now, you guys. When she has time to relax, Valarie enjoys sewing, reading, and writing. She also loves traveling, which has been a feature of her life since she was aged just 3. She has visited 3 African countries so far, with more planned in the future. Valarie's favorite quote comes from Malcolm X. We need more light about each other. Light creates understanding. Understanding creates love. Love creates patience, and patience creates unity. I got goosebumps just reading that alone. So with this quote at the center of all she does, it is her dream to raise her children to be wonderful people, to foster a love of history in her students, and to expand her creativity. She would also like to live somewhere tropical in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you on this radio right now Miss Valarie Thomas. Miss Valarie, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, yes, you guys.
Thank you.
It is that just made me get elated and overjoyed. Yes, I'm glad you're here, because reading that about you alone, and this all is going back towards love, and I want you to really delve into that at a later time in the phone call about that quote right there, because love is the center of everything. Love is the key.
Yes, it is.
So, again, we're going to start right. I'm going to get right into it. Let's jump into it. So when did you decide you wanted to become an author?
I started writing at 12 years old, and I've always had a love of reading. But since I was 12, I would start writing and stop and start and stop, but it really started in middle school. So I'm finally just finishing my first novel.
So when you were during that time in middle school, were you pushed by your parents to really read, or is it something that you just took on and said, I really like this? Because a lot of kids don't like to read. They just want to just skim through, especially today's children.
Yes, I've always loved to read. It was just a natural thing. I don't think even my parents read to me that often, so I just always loved to read. If I went in the toy store, I was looking for the book. And it's something, since I teach middle school, I keep books in my classroom, and I try so hard to get the kids to read. And it's hard sometimes, but I've been blessed with a lot of kids that love to read. So.
Okay, that's great. But that's a good thing, because, like I said, today's kids don't like to read. And do you feel like the way that it was applied in your life on reading, are you applying that to their lives as well to help them to really get to that plateau that you're at?
Yes, I'm working so hard to find them books that they like. That's the key. Like, you can't just force anything on them. It might be a graphic novel, like there's a Malcolm X graphic novel. You know, there's always something, and I work with their English teachers to try to figure out how can we help this child learn to read, because a lot of my kids come from low-income neighborhoods, so, you know, that's not a priority. And so if I can instill in them or find some books that fit them, that they enjoy, that's like really all I want to do. I think reading will take them so far. So I try really hard to do that. And I've been doing really great lately getting kids into it. You got to make it fun. You got to make them, put music to it. Write me a song about this book or something like that. You just got to be creative with them.
Okay, great. So your book is detailing something that's so great. I want you to give the audience a definition of what it means when you say griot, because like I was telling you earlier, griot means down here, it means pork in the Haitian culture. But I want you to give the people the true reason of the title of your book called The Griot.
A griot is a West African storyteller, and they are revered in their society. Like, they are one of the highest statures in their society. And they're not only historians, but they play music, they tell stories and keep the records of people's families, your ancestors. They know your mama, your grandma, everything. And they tell these stories that are like fables to keep people in line. So that's what a griot is. They know everything about their village. They know everything about their kingdom. So they're really historians. But most of them are musicians as well. And they usually have to marry other griots also, so they keep it in the family. Okay, great.
So basically, they had to marry their own kind, is what you're saying, because of the
in West Africa. Yeah, that's how it works.
Right,
my
because they were
a little bit different, but yeah, that's traditionally how it is. My story is different. In my story, they're not allowed to marry, and they're only women, and they're not allowed to marry in my story, so it's a little bit different.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so we have to go back into, like you were saying, like I said earlier, with your love of writing, this book is about a girl who is forced into society that keeps the deceitful secrets of their nation and is, in this book. So before we even get into that, because that's real juicy right there, for a person that feels she's forced to go into it, but she really don't want to do it, and they're seeing the things that's going on. And we find that to be commonplace in a lot of cultures and a lot of societies today that, they appear to be one way on the outside, but on the inside, the deep, dark secrets are going on, and someone decides to speak up about it, and now they're the outsider, they're the outcast of that culture.
Yes. She can't even, like, if she tries to go against being a griot, she will be exiled. So it's like no choice for her. And in their society, it's not like a democracy, so she doesn't have any choice in that. Yeah, that's so true. In a lot of societies, that's the way it is, and you can even get killed for your opinion. So I think that's a blessing that we have here in the U.S., that we can kind of speak out and go our own path. So that's not good for everybody.
It's so fortunate, even in America. So when you decided to write this is the first book, correct? You don't have any other one out right now?
Correct.
So when you decided to write this book, how were you feeling when you were doing the research on this? Is this young lady an actual person, or is this something that you created, or based on the research that you've done about the griots? And were you also interviewing this young lady in order to really write this book this deep?
No, I totally made her up. I wanted a girl that started off as unsure of herself, not sure that she can do it, and that she kind of evolved in the end to being, I'm that girl. I could do this. I can, people will listen to me. And so she's not real at all. But I feel like I brought life to her so that a lot of women can feel her and who they are.
Okay. So it's just amazing, though. You did your research and you made her up based on the things that you saw. How did you get those visions in order to really bring this book to life? And do you even know if any of these things have actually happened?
Well, one thing that helped me is I have been to Kenya. I have visited villages. I've been to some other African nations, which African nations are different, but I've kind of gathered information just from being there, so that helps a lot. I know there are some forced things in some of these societies, like maybe forced marriage or young girls sometimes are forced to be married. That's not in my story, but I know that idea of being forced to do something you don't necessarily want to do. So that part is true. I like a lot of the natural stuff, like the natural foods and all that, and the community. Like, nobody is without food. We all help each other. So that's a big part of my story, too. Okay. So I did bring a lot of African culture into it. So, yes.
Okay. So is your family from that region of Africa?
No, we're not. And we're not from East Africa, but I did visit in college. I had a professor that used to go like every other year. He would take students, so I was blessed to be able to do that. And I definitely actually want to raise my children in Africa. I want to go to Ghana with my children and perhaps teach over there. So we aren't from there, but I definitely have a great love for Africa.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's just amazing how you've written this, and now it's taking you to a whole other place that you desire to be in based on your story.
Absolutely.
I know I'm a writer also, so I know when I written my first book about my life, it made me want to change the lives of others. So I totally get it. We're putting our whole lives in paper and pen, and it's making you want to do better. So I say God bless you and congratulations, and go forth in doing that for real.
Thank you.
Yeah. So my next question is this. How long did it take you to complete your first book, and what was the process like for you? Because it seems you're passionate even talking about this right now.
Yes. It took me over a year and a half. I know I see some authors that say they write like 4 books a year. I don't know how, but it took me a year and a half. And my process was first doing NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, which is coming up in November. So you got to write like 50,000 words in a month, so that helped me out a lot. It just kind of put that pressure on you to finish and you want to win, and so that helped with my first draft. And then I went to a writing retreat that was really awesome with some amazing writers that inspired me more. And then I went through my editors. They helped out a ton, and I had to get it edited and read it because I wanted it to be good. I didn't want to put anything out there, so I had it edited. That was the longest part of it, just getting it edited over and over again. And so once it was edited, I have a 4-month-old, so I got it. I was pregnant. I was about to have him, and I just kind of stopped for a while. And then finally, my people kept asking me, when is it coming? When is it coming? I was like, let me get this book done. And I finally finished it. So that helped a lot, just letting people know what you're doing, and they're going to hold you accountable because they're going to be like, where is the book? So that helped a lot.
Exactly. Some of them will hover and stalk you and email you and inbox you until you get it done. But you had help. You went out there and you sought help. And I again, God bless you for that, because some authors get confused in trying to get it done and getting it edited. But you have resources that you mentioned, and I want you to tell the audience the name of those resources. You mentioned something about Nano, and that to help people to push. You're writing 50,000 words a month. They're telling you have to get this done. So could you give the audience that information?
Yes. So go ahead. If you want to write a book, I would suggest it's coming up in November, but you have to start preparing in October. You want to get your outline done. It's called NaNoWriMo, NaNoWriMo, NaNoWriMo. If you look it up, it will take you to the website. And basically, it's a whole community of people pushing each other to finish. You don't have to put your words in there, but you put your word count. It's like an honor system. So you will see how much you're doing every day. And if you go on Periscope and Twitter and type in hashtag NaNoWriMo, you'll see all types of people doing it, and that's going to further boost you. And by the end, you want to win. You want to have your 50,000 words. And even though you're writing really fast and it might not be great, it's still you're going to have that first draft, or at least most of your first draft. So it's awesome. It's an awesome push. So definitely do NaNoWriMo. Look on YouTube on how to create your outline, and they will definitely help you out so that when November 1st starts, you're ready to go.
And you heard it from her, ladies and gentlemen. I wrote it down, too. So I'm definitely going to be doing my research with them. Thank you, Miss Valarie. So, Valarie, my next question to you is, you tapped into it about the rewards behind you writing the book, but what are your greatest rewards about writing these books and also being an author?
My greatest reward is holding my book in my hand for the first time. The proof, just holding it like I did this. I can't believe I did this. And having my daughter take a picture with my book and she sees that mommy did this and my husband, you know, he's been pushing me. And so having him see that I finally did something, because I like to start stuff and not finish it sometimes. So the fact that I did this showed me I can do anything. And I feel bad, like I can do anything. And it really has me feeling like, looking at other entrepreneurship ideas, like it's opened my whole world to something new, and it's opened me up to meeting other authors and following authors on Pinterest and Facebook and all this other stuff, and just learning and growing my craft. So that's like the biggest reward. Doing it and getting it done, and having your friends say, "Oh my God, that book was so good." So that's awesome. And having strangers say, "Oh my gosh, I loved it." So that's really awesome. Exactly. Excuse me one second, Ms. Valarie. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are signing on, we thank you guys for joining us tonight to speak to Ms. Valarie Thomas about her book, The Grill. I'm asking if you have any background noise, if you could move to a quiet place, or you can press *6 to mute your phone. We would truly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Okay, great. So it's like a trophy, right? It's like I won. I crossed the finish line in first place. It's like what was the word I wanted to say besides the trophy? It's just like the greatest feeling in the world to know that I put all my time, energy, efforts into this, and now the world is going to know how I feel and the things that I've experienced. It's just such a great blessing. I know how you felt. I know how you felt. So, and you had help. You guys, listen, you need help. Miss Valarie had help from friends, through her husband, her children. Like she said, she was excited to take a picture with her book. That's the reward behind it, knowing that you've done it, pushing through everything that you had to go through to get your book done. Not saying that many people will go through some things. Some people don't. Everybody's walk is different. But knowing that the greatest reward is I'm done and I'm declared an author is truly a blessing to each and every one of you. And I want to take a moment, you guys, and please let's give a moment of silence for Houston and the surrounding areas. You guys, they were heavily devastated. And if you guys can help in any types of way, please reach out to the local places that might need food and clothing, money, water, or whatever to help them out, you guys. So shout out, keep your prayers up, and just keep your knees bent because they need a lot of help right now. I have family and friends over there. Yeah. So I just want to say that because, you know, my heart goes out to them. So my next question to you is, was there ever a time that you felt like giving up, just calling it quits? Oh, absolutely. In the writing stage, you know, you just feel like, is this good enough? Is it even worth my time? This is taking so long. It's not coming out the way I wanted it to come out. So those times I felt like giving up. And even in the editing stage, sometimes you get your edits back and you see all that red and you're like, oh, my gosh, was it that bad? But you got to remember that they're there to help you. And I had some amazing editors. So they are there to help you, even though sometimes you feel stupid. You're like, oh, man, I can't believe I wrote that or whatever. So, but they are there to help you and take what you need and make it right. So it just helps having those extra eyes. But, yeah, I definitely felt like giving up, and I'm so glad I didn't. So, and I kept it going because I just would have been devastated if I stopped. So just
exactly.
Don't give up.
And I understand your feelings because you're putting pen to paper, all this time in it, and then somebody comes like somebody's just bled all over your book with all these red marks. Oh my gosh, it was just make you feel bad, but it's because I put all of me in here, and you telling me all of me don't fit, and it's like, wait, how are we gonna fix this? And you want to throw in the towel, but you're realizing I can't. I've come too far.
Right.
Exactly. So it's ready for me to let me suck it up It keep going.
Exactly.
So even in those times you felt like giving up, Miss Valarie, what kept you going besides your editors? What kept you going?
One thing that kept me going is my husband. Like, anytime he would always be like, "What's going on with your book? What's going on with your book?" And he even bought me a card reader so I could swipe people's debit cards when I'm selling the book. And I wasn't even done with the proof yet, going through the proof. So I'm like, okay, I got to get this done, because he was just like, he did more than anybody else. Where is it at? Where is it at? So that definitely helped. And just my want, I wanted it finished before my son was born, but it didn't happen. But, you know, just that push, I wanted my kids to see this. Even though he's a baby and my daughter's 5, I wanted them to see that Mommy did this, and I wanted to get it done. So, and my friends were waiting on me, you know, like I said. I probably jumped the gun a little bit and got my cover done way early. And I put it out there, and that, like, people were like, yeah, we don't know what this is about. So that helped a lot, because they were, like, not letting up on it. So I just kind of put myself out there and had my accountability partners, even though they weren't, you know, really accountability partners, but your friends and your husband, they're not going to let you give up. So that helped a lot.
Of course. Yeah, so I got to meet Mr. Thomas. Is he even around you today while you're on this interview?
He's downstairs listening.
All right, shout out to Mr. Thomas on the phone right there. Sir, you're a blessing to that woman. I'm giving you a shout out on here because you gave her great support. You keep giving her support. You get on her nerves because guess what? Now we can read what she has put out there. So everybody give a shout out and love to Mr. Thomas. Thank you again, sir. You and your children, you are blessings. God bless you. God bless you. Is that him clapping?
He even helps with like marketing. Like, I'm just sitting somewhere trying to be quiet, and he'd be like, "My wife got a book." I'm like, "Oh gosh." So yeah, he's supportive.
Oh, and that's what you need. You need that support. So you guys, again, I'll interject from time to time. You guys, remember, you need that support. You need that good energy. You need that prayer partner. You need that accountability partner. You need those people who's going to push you, whether they're on your job, if they're in your family, that friend or that loved one. Surround yourself with good energy at all times, because you're going to need it. Trust me, because some days you might feel like you want to just throw the whole book out the window and just go get you a glass of wine or something and just say, okay, I can't do this. But you need those people. So shout out again to Mr. Thomas and the little ones out there. So since you tapped into it, but Mr. Thomas helping you with the marketing expert, you just write all of my questions. Have we met before? So, because I know, okay, the book has been done. It's been edited. We have a cover. It's been printed. We're publishing it. It's all out there now. Now what? What do we do next? What do we do next? So how are you guys handling and managing the business side of things? Because now it's about getting it out there, getting into these major stores and making money, and also people wanting to know you. How are you guys handling that?
Yes, definitely got to have your Facebook group. You might have to boost your Facebook group, spend a little bit of money on that, getting Facebook advertisements. Because a lot of people don't see it if you don't put that $5 or however much behind it. So you got to spend money out there to get your stuff out there. Instagram, Twitter is a good way to get your information out there. I try to take my office bag with me. I take 2 books with me, my bookmarks, my business card with me, and my square reader, my card reader with me, so that if I find somebody reading, I give them a bookmark and start talking to them or something like that. There's just so much you can do. You need to be in book groups. You need to definitely, UBAWA is a great one to be in, because they're always giving information. Look at other authors, see what they're doing. You don't have to bite off of them, but they are a great inspiration. One thing I haven't done that I'm about to start doing is going to conferences and book signings, and you just got to get out there. You got to do interviews. You really have to put yourself out there, especially if you're an introvert. I am an introvert, so, you got to push yourself and just do it scared sometimes. And you have to be uncomfortable and get yourself out of your comfort zone and get your book out there. That's your baby. It would be a shame to just write this book that's been on your heart and just leave it there and nobody know about it. You have to push it out there. You have to let people see it. And a lot of times that takes money to do. Also, make sure you have a good cover, you know, speak to people, find out, go to conferences, go to workshops, and get everything out there. I love Pinterest because you can always find information on marketing, find out about book marketing. I also take webinars as well from authors who have sold a lot of books. That helps a lot. So, you know, just get out there and learn everything you can.
It's a grind, people. It's a hustle.
It is. Yes, it
you
is.
got to have a hustler's mentality. Because when you out there, a hustler's mentality is more than what people think. Because when they hear hustler, they think of illegal acts. And that's not what we're talking about. A hustler gets up, makes it happen, moves in wisdom and intelligence because they know that's their product. Look at your book as a product, the way that a hustler would look at a product. And I'm not promoting any illegal activities. Look at your book. All of those that are on here that are thinking of writing, that book that's in your head, that's your product. Then you're going to put that product out. The public is going to crave that product because you keep putting it in their face as the best product that's out on the market. How do you do that? You have to be, like you said, at the conferences. You have to go to the book groups. You have to do your social media. You have to spend money because quiet is kept. If you really want to know when you're out boosting your pages, fan pages and whatnot, hashtags are amazing. But you have to spend money. I just recently did it for my book. And I have had people purchase my book. As a matter of fact, Facebook gave me $10 free credit. And I was like, let me add a little more money to it. And my phone has been going off for books being sold. So you're right, Valarie, being able to spend money on these social medias, especially with Facebook, and as well as Instagram, because now they have it where you can make it a business page. You guys got to get out there. Don't give up. McDonald's started from nothing. Starbucks, all these companies started from nothing. But once your product is out there and it's helping people, people will be more apt to buy it because it's in their face. So thank you again. You're teaching me, too, more and more, trust me. I try to be Mr. Know-it-all, but my friends, which one of them is on here, try to say, no, sit down, Stephen. Not easy. So I love the cover. Who did the cover art for your book?
Leslie Morrell. I found her on a website called Reedsy. It's REEDSY.com. And it's all of the people on there are vetted. They work for the big publishing companies, like designing covers for the big publishing companies that you see. And what you can do, you can compare 5 people, ask them for a quote, find out what they do, look at some of their pictures, and then go from there and choose who you want. It's a little more extensive than some other routes. I also know Rebecca Powell. She did some of my artwork for my bookmarks and stuff. Her name is Rebecca P-A-U, and she is awesome too. She does book covers as well. She's more affordable than some of those people on Reedsy. So just a cover is so important. You want something that looks like, you don't want it to look like you had your friend to do it or something like that unless they're good at it. You know,
yes.
That's definitely very important because people do judge you by your cover.
They sure do. Don't take a picture like you took a selfie in the club and tried to blur out the black background, and you took a picture on the white wall of your house, or you had some of your friends come over after they came for Forever 21. I'm not knocking Forever 21. Don't sue me. And you want to put that as a cover. People want quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And her cover is beautiful.
Funny.
Exactly. Your cover is very alluring. It's sexy, provocative, but it's more so in a more upscale, classy way. So I love it. It's just a shoulder and a face. And sometimes that's these volumes. We don't need to see everything.
Yes. Yes. So some of
it's really about what's in it, what's not on it. But yeah, it is attractive and alluring. Exactly. So I got to bring up this ugly little girl, this ugly young lady called Writer's Block. I don't like her. I can't stand her. I don't like her. She shows up in the most inopportune times, but we have to tell her to get out of our way, Satan. Move. Yes. I got to finish this book. So when you encountered it, or did you encounter it? And if you did, how did you get past it? How did you get away from that?
I definitely encountered it. One thing I would do is sometimes put the book away. Put your book away, and then go to, again, Pinterest, find writing prompts. They got some awesome writing prompts that have nothing to do with your book, and just start writing. And just follow the prompt, be as detailed as you can, and it might just spark your imagination and get you back going again. You just have to do it. Or a lot of times I would skip to another section, a section that I know I can see in my mind, and do that section first and then come back to the rest. Having an outline, a very detailed outline, helps a lot with that, you know. And so I know exactly where I'm going. I might not know what I'm going to say, but I know I need to do this to get to this point, and then go back to it and perfect it later. So that's how I deal with why.
Okay. Now, for some of you, hopefully that works for you, because everybody has a formula that works for him. One of the key things you said was to have an outline.
Yes.
When we write stuff down, we look at it, make it a priority. As I said before with another author on the phone, and a quote of Eric Thomas, he said, I don't believe in procrastination. He says, if it's not a priority, you're not going to do it. But we like to put the word procrastination up front instead of the other one. Remove that P and put the PRO and put the PRI, which is priority, and then you're going to get it done. So that's valuable. Create an outline. Get an inspiration through saying, well, I need to do this, this, and this. Or some people say an agenda. You guys want to really do this. So, I know you told us about where you, in this, I believe, the course where you had to write 50,000 words in a month. But how often do you write? And when you're writing, how often do you write, and how many words, or how far do you go? Because some people could be on saying, oh, I can't sit down that long. That's too much time. It's taking me away from this, that, and the other, Facebook Live, changing the diapers and eating and all that. How often do you write, and how do you get through it when you're writing?
Well, with NaNoWriMo, I'm not going to lie. If you have a job, which I have a full-time job, it is not easy. Like, you have to have so much support during NaNoWriMo. It is very hard, and you can look at people talk about how stressed they are because it takes us so much time. You're probably going to be sitting down at least 2 to 3 hours during NaNoWriMo trying to get, I think it's like 1,500 words a day. So it takes a lot, and you definitely need that support, especially if you have kids, or else you're going to have to wait till they go to sleep. And right now, I'm not a great writer because you're supposed to write every day. I do not write every day. When I have my story and I'm real passionate, that's when I write. So I don't have that habit, but I need to get back into it. But you should always be reading, at least, reading other people's work. And definitely, if you're not writing, be reading. And I love reading all the time. So that's one thing for me. But it takes a lot. NaNoWriMo is not a joke. Now, on a regular day, I try to say, yes, I want this scene done, or I want this chapter done, and I push myself to get it done. And also, one thing that helps with writing, if there's any authors on here, don't try to go back and edit your work while you're writing. Just get it out, and then go back when you're done, and then go back and edit it, because you will never get finished. And that was one of my earlier problems with other books I tried to write. I would keep going back and never getting past what I needed to do. So that's one thing that helps, just keep going forward.
Exactly. Putting it all on the paper or all on the computer. And people, please save your stuff as you're moving along, because I've encountered the computer shutting down on me and nothing was saved. So please have it where you...
I lost the whole chapter before. That hurt so bad.
Oh, my gosh, I wanted to dive out the window. And I was on the 10th floor. Oh my gosh! But you're telling them, like you said, you're taking the nano course, and it's stressful. It's a lot going on. But one of the things that you said again, which stuck out, was you like to read. And I know a lot of writers, when God gives them a book or things they've experienced, things that they've seen, a lot of people don't like to read. And especially today, we have social media, we have videos, we have somebody doing tutorials on YouTube and all of that. So we don't have to read as much as we used to. But it should be a habit, you guys. Make it a habit. This is a great habit for you to read. When you're reading, it's going to make you read your stories, read your lines. And it's going to keep the interest inside of you to wanting to put it down, because guess what? When you get with the editor, he or she may say, okay, I've re-edited it, read it again. What? I just written over 200,000 words. That's wonderful. Read it. It's going to tell you, because when you're interviewed and going through these different, bloggers, and all that, you need to be able to tell your story to them. And they need to understand clearly what you're saying. So thank you again for the information, definitely. Guys, I hope you guys are taking notes, and I hope that before the show ends, we'll give you guys information to where you can reach out to Valarie and you can speak to her personally or on social media or email. So, have you had a book signing yet?
No, I have not. That's something I definitely need to do. And I hope to be going to some conferences soon. But yeah, I definitely want to do that. I am kind of scared though. I'm scared to have a book signing and nobody show up. I'm nervous about that. So
well, don't be fearful like that. Just like you're putting your information out there and advice for everyone. When I get my book signing, you have to promote it like you're doing. You have to push it out there, inviting coworkers, inviting in your employers, inviting your employees, inviting family, friends, loved ones, strangers, inviting anybody, Shirley Caesar, whoever you want to invite. Just reach out to these people.
Yes.
And they will come, especially those that have been pushing you. Guess what? They are your biggest supporters, and they're going to get other people to come to my friend or my coworker or my wife or whatever has written this book. You guys come support, please. We're going to have a little snack, a little cake, a little dish, because we all love to eat. Food will draw us in. Food will bring us in. It's a great conversation for you.
Yeah, I want to shout out my family because I know a lot of authors say their families aren't supportive, but that was not my reality. My family really came out and supported me. My book came out like a day before my family reunion, and everybody bought books. Some people were buying 4 or 5 books, so I am blessed, and I just want to thank my friends and my family and my line sisters, all of y'all out there. Thank y'all for buying my book. I appreciate it.
What are you? What's your Greek? What are you?
Delta, of course.
Oh my God. DST in the house. Yes. Didn't it start at Howard University, right? Am I right? Yeah. All right, DST. Shout out to all the Deltas out there. I'm not going to do the call on the phone because I'm not a Delta, but shout out all the Delta sisters out there. That's your support team right there. You got support. Let me tell you something. You better get in touch with them and say, your line sister has released a book. They'll come like buffalo, just bursting through. They will support. I've seen it happen too many times. Here's your book signing. Look at it. You just answered your old question. God just gave you a revelation. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Look at that. Just like that. Wow. So, well, we ain't worried about it. Just let us know when you have a book signing. You got everybody already in your corner. And it's a beautiful thing that family supporting you. And guys, if you don't have family supporting you, you know what? Relax, relate, release, and breathe. It's okay. Because sometimes it'll last to support you. Ms. Valarie, you've been blessed to have Mr. Thomas and your children and your family support you like that. That's a blessing. Some people didn't have that opportunity. But I got supportive friends like my friend Charlotte and Nicole and all of them. They came and other people supported me. And a handful of family. But it's okay. You still love them anyway. You're going to be, you know what? You got Deltas all over the universe. They live in other planets and things. They're going to come for you. Trust me. They're truly going to come. So, besides social media, which I know you mentioned in order to get your books out there, what other methods are you using right now to get it out there about your books?
I have my own website, ValerieSThomas.com. I use that way. I'm going to be starting a giveaway soon, getting people to sign up and on my mailing list. The mailing list, I know y'all heard it a million times. It's important to have your mailing list and to keep in touch. Not always sell in your mailing list, but to build that bond with people, and it can go a long way. What else am I doing? I walk around with my T-shirt with my book on it that says, ask me about my book. That's one thing I'll do locally. I have my friends post pictures, and then I made a collage with everybody's pictures. And that's basically what I've been doing, just trying to be in all the groups, posting regularly, scheduling my posts on Hootsuite to make sure I'm putting my book out there regularly. Whenever there's a contest, you guys do contests all the time, and thank y'all so much. Like pass a read or post your cover, support other authors. So I try to do that. Whenever somebody says, are there any authors, post your link right here. I'm there. So that's the type of stuff that I've been doing.
The grind, the hustle.
Yes.
getting it out there. I'm not going to have this product for nothing. McDonald's wouldn't be McDonald's if they didn't advertise the Big Mac and that sauce, which I still love that sauce. Y'all can say you all you want to. Everybody on this phone goes through McDonald's line one time or another. Don't judge me. Just love on me. Okay, great. Okay. So as a woman of color, speak to the people on the phone of what inspires you the most.
What inspired me the most?
Yes.
Well, in writing this book, what inspired me to write this book was, unfortunately, our black men being killed by police officers. And that, and then them getting acquitted. And that just disturbed me so much to my core. And I was like, I'm tired of this. And I didn't even have a son at the time. I wasn't pregnant when I started writing this. And I was like, you know what, I teach young black men, and I can't stand this. What if I created a society where we can be us, and we can be loving on each other, and raising our young men and our young ladies to see their beauty, and they have natural hair, and they have natural foods and all this other stuff. So that's what really inspired me. A society where everybody sees young black men and they're like, oh my gosh, they're so excited. These are our warriors, these are our protectors. And so that's why I created this place. Now, don't get me wrong, this place that I created is not perfect. There's drama, there's scandal, and all this other stuff, but that was the idea when the founders created it. So, yes. So that's one thing that inspired me. And then when I went to my writing retreat, I met these phenomenal women that are like, they're all into helping each other and healing each other. And so that's a big part of it, too, just women being strong and the backbone of society and just birthing their own babies and all this other stuff, teaching the children what they think is important, not what other people think is important, which is crazy for me to say because I'm a teacher. But, there are just things that I'm not allowed to teach my students. And so in this society, it's us. It's for us, and we get to do what we feel that we need to do. So that's what really inspires me, women being strong, men being strong, and everybody taking care of each other, having this community, natural healing and all this other stuff, and great food, and just buying from each other, supporting black business, because you don't have a choice. It's all that there is in this society, So that's what really inspired me, just what I want to see here in America,
Okay. So this is not on my questions, but, I'm always piggybacking off when you guys speak. So you're saying that inspires you the most. When God gives you the greater platform, with you being a voice, because you have to become famous. People don't like that word because famous, they equate it with, bad things you see what's going on in Hollywood. But when God, I'm saying when, not if, when God gives you that platform to be on that level, like Oprah and whatnot, with that power and the financial backing, what would be the things that you would do the most? Because you talked about what is inspiring you. What would be the great thing that you'll be able to do now that you can't do right now because due to financials and due to not being known? Because you have to be known in order for what you're doing is going to be great. Because Lord knows our black brothers and our black sisters, our black kings and queens, we need people like yourself and many others that are on here that God has given the idea that we can stand up and say, hey, now I have this platform, I can make it happen. So what do you want to do?
That's an awesome question. I would love building a school, like a great school for African-American children where they are taught to grow their own organic food, where they're taught holistic health and yoga and just taught to be entrepreneurs. And they still learn math and science and all that stuff, but they're learning to think for themselves, not with what somebody has taught them, and become business-minded, not to become, it's nothing wrong with being an employee, but maybe some of them can become entrepreneurs and very successful, and it's kind of not what we're taught in school. We're kind of taught to follow.
Okay.
So, and then I know our young black men, my principal was talking about this the other day, that in third grade, black males fall out of love with school. So I want to develop a school that's not the case. and maybe they might be a little bit more rambunctious and active than other kids. So how do we channel that? How do we allow them to be themselves and channel that in a positive way? And then our young black girls, you know, sometimes they're seen as having an attitude, and maybe I'm Miss Thomas, I can handle it more than some other teachers can, and just I can understand stuff. So I think seeing teachers like themselves, and I think that will be great. Just this school where, you know, they're not getting suspended all the time, and we're in touch with the families, you know, the parents, and there's this tight-knit community. I would love to create something like that if I had the money to do so.
You were designed for it. When you were kid, you were designed to do what you're doing. That's just what I'm feeling right now within my soul. You were designed for it. Like the great Martin Luther King, the great Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, and all other the great people, they were risk takers. And people can say whatever they want about Tupac, but he was a prophet.
Oh, God.
He was speaking things that's happening right now. That's what I feel for you. It's going to be a risk, but it's going to be worth it. And to inspire you and others that are listening, it's more than writing this book. The book is going to open up doors for you to walk into something that you really purpose to do. But the book is the open door for you to get to where you need to be. It's more than a book for you guys. Valarie, you're stepping out doing something that I've never heard done before because, you know, we don't know everything. But I just see you being on that platform, standing up there. Might have to have some security around you, but always know that there's a greater purpose behind you writing this. You're talking about reigniting and regenerating a culture, bringing back love to our African kings and queens, because we've been taught to hate each other for so long. We've been taught to defile and fight and cuss and kill and degrade people in front of them, because ever since our people came to this country, that's what they've been instilling in us since our people were put in slaves. People are always saying, oh, they were slaves. No, we are kings and queens.
Mm-hmm.
When you strip that away because of manipulation. Exactly. So whatever the Almighty is leading you to do, just do it with grace.
Oh,
and just know that it's easy. It's easy. Oh, I felt that.
Everything. I'm receiving it.
Ooh, Jesus, Lord. Okay, I got to flip back through my questions. That just came up here. Oh my gosh. We need to have a kumbaya moment right now. We have to finish. So I know we all have done things in our past that we regret. Some people haven't regretted because it made them who they are. But have you ever done anything in your past that you regret? And if so, how did you get through it?
That's a tough one. Probably getting my last degree. I think I was nervous. I moved here with my husband. I had been here for 2 years in Hampton, and I did not get a teaching job. So I was like, okay, I need to move. I need to get something else. I need to get another degree. And I don't think that it was the best choice, and now I'm like in $20,000 more debt. But I guess no one can take your education from you, but I think I just need to learn to be more patient and wait on God sometimes. And so I think that was something that I regret doing, because, like, it's an acquisition and contract, like working for the government. I do not see myself doing it. I really don't. And it really feels boring, like something that I don't know. Maybe it will come to me, but I think it was definitely the wrong. I wasn't following my heart, and sometimes it's important. So I think that was something that I regret.
So how were you able to get through that? What was the happy place?
I finished it. I finished my degree. I didn't stop even once I did get my teaching job. I kept going, and I have my degree, and no one can take that from me. So, you know, nothing is by accident. So for some reason, God put that in my path, and I got through it, and maybe I will use it one day. So you need to know that nothing is an accident, to learn from it and learn that lesson and keep going. So
exactly. Pushing through, pressing with strength. You endured it, and now look where you're at now. You're doing better. But it was just part of the process, and some people don't want to go through that process to get there to be successful. Because a lot of people you see, they didn't just happen. It's not a Kardashianism. moment. It's not, that's not the way life is. People think because they get caught up in these reality shows and whatnot. Even though they're doing what they're doing, they still know that they got to work. I don't care what your name is. Right. You still have to meet the standards of life and things that need to take place in order for you to be successful. But everybody's path is different. And we all make mistakes, we all fall short. But guess what? You endured, you persevered. And that's what it takes, everybody. You got to keep pushing no matter what it looks like. No matter what your financial status is, no matter where you're living, what's going on, know that there's a bigger something in front of you. You just have to walk through the little somethings and the processes and the things that is going to make you become that man or that woman that you've been intended to be on this earth.
Right, and that's another thing, too, that I messed up on, trying to follow other people's paths. Like you said, you got to follow everybody's path is different. You can't be like your friend. It may look good, but you don't know what they're going through to get there, and that might not be for you. You got to be yourself. So, yeah, that's another thing that I regret, too, trying to, seeing somebody have all this success and trying to do exactly how they did. So, yeah, that's another thing. Just stay on your path because there's something awesome for you.
Exactly. People want to be like Michael Jackson, be like Beyonce, be like these people. Okay, you want to be like them? Go through what they went through. Some of you wouldn't make it out. Stay in your own shoes, your own lane, your own path. It has been etched and written that you must stay on the path that's for you. And when you seek the face of the Almighty God, He'll tell you. He'll show you the way. Because everybody was created to do different things and create different things. The book you've written, nobody's written this book before, but guess what? It was meant for you to write it, and it was meant for you to get to where you're going to be in life because it was already written. Our lives are pre-written out, people. I just have to keep telling people that. You just have to follow the path. This is an adventure. Enjoy the adventure, everybody.
Yes.
Enjoy the adventure. So when you move forward, because I want to make sure these people get to find you, follow you, email you, maybe someone on here that might need you to come speak and all that. So
awesome.
Hope that happens. So how do you get through the tough times in life? You know, when life throws what it throws at you, how do you get through those things?
I have, probably in the last 3 years, I started meditating. I love doing guided meditation with either Oprah and Deepak when they have theirs, or just going on YouTube and typing guided meditation. And I just like being in my room with my lights dim, and I like to light my sage and just relax and breathe. Reading is really awesome for me. I just love self-help books. That's my new craze right now. And they will get you fired up. Like the 5-second rule is one that I recommend to anyone. That will get you fired up. Whatever you need to do, you will do it because she's awesome. So go find the 5-second rule and listen to it. And that's what I do. I read, I relax, I breathe, and just calm down, and I just say it's all going to be okay. And sometimes if there's something specific I want to focus on, I have mantras for different things, and that's what I repeat to myself until I get what I want, and I believe that I can manifest anything that I want for myself. So and if you got to join Facebook groups with like-minded people to boost you up, just do that if you don't have that in your life, because social media is wonderful. So you can find people that you may never see, but they will boost you up. So that's what
Come on now. You're preaching right. You know you're preaching right. I'll give you some money in a few minutes. You just preach to everybody on here. Finding your happy place, finding what centers and grounds you, find the peace that you need in your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Because if you don't have it, everything that's reeling all around you is going to affect you. When you have peace within, they could be shooting around you, and you're like, I'm straight. Let me just drop to the ground. But I'm good. You know, and it's helped you. Hasn't what you're doing helped you along in life to really, like you said, I'm going to manifest whatever I want? Because you have the power. Every listener has the power, and I have the power to manifest it because thoughts become things. Words become things. And what we're speaking, we're going to see whether it's good or bad. So that's your way of really channeling your inner peace. Everybody may have something different, but the thing is, find that peace. Center yourself so you can get what needs to be done, accomplished, and achieved on this earth. Because once you pass away, that's it. That's it.
And I only got one life.
One life. I recently attended a funeral yesterday for my fashion wife, as I call her, because she's always done. Shout out to Charlotte again. Her cousin. He was 25 years old. But that young man achieved stuff that most people, he was deaf, he had some vision problems, but he died of a disease called sarcoidosis, which affected his lungs. I'm just going to be real short with this. Long story short, he died on the side of a road. His lungs gave out, and he wasn't found for several days. So, but at the end of the day, he was in school, he was in law school, he was in his last year. With all this going on with his body, he pressed, and he pushed through. He said, I'm going to achieve what I need.
Family.
Yes. It was a nice homegoing service. It really was. But God knows what he's doing, But they're better now. They're getting better every day.
He lived his life, though. He did what he had to do. He went to law school. That's awesome.
Yes, his work was done. Yeah, he encouraged people. I mean, he had a lot of Caucasian brothers and sisters from the deaf community that was there that really came down because he was in Boston. And he really, really encouraged and touched a lot of lives. My condolences to the family again. So, what is one goal, if you haven't done it yet, because it is August, that you want to accomplish for yourself in 2017?
Oh, wow. 2017, I want to speak in front of people. And that terrifies me, but I do want to speak in front of people. I don't know which people besides my students I can speak in front of them all day, but I want to be someone's guest speaker and bring a message either about writing or whatever. I could see myself doing that. So that's something that's one of my goals for this year.
Well, the power is in you to manifest, and the power is in you to remove fear out of your life. Because I know we get a little nervous and timid because you're standing before people, but in order for you to get that out, even if you got to speak nervous, you speak nervous. Get it out. Go in the back, cry, roll on the floor, just wring your shirt out and give you a gallon of water. I do. But you are going to be great at it. I know you are. So what's next for Valarie? I know you're talking about a book signing. Deltas. Any Deltas on here? This is your Sarah. You got to get in touch with her. She needs to reach out to the main office in Washington, D.C. Y'all better help her out. So what are you planning next? What's next for Valarie?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to start another book. I'm not sure what I'm writing yet, but I can see myself writing a suspense kind of thriller type book. So that's what's next for me. I'm getting ready to go back into the classroom. So pray for my students and pray for me. And just keep raising these children, and I'm working on becoming an entrepreneur. That's definitely what I want to do. This book has opened up that spirit in me, so I definitely want to become an entrepreneur, and I started a new blog just last week, so that's just, I don't know, I'm getting all this energy. This book is just giving me all this energy and just makes me want to do everything, so there's a lot coming up for me.
That's good. Isn't it something from there to here, from here to what's in front of you, never knowing that, oh my gosh, I'm doing this and this is what I've been called to do, and it's going to take me to greater heights and greater greats? Wow, I never knew my life was going to be like that. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. So before we close out, because we have a few minutes, I want you to clearly tell all of our listeners and others on this call, how can they reach you?
Yes, you can reach me at Valarie S. Thomas on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and it's Valarie S. Thomas, and Valarie is VALARIE S. Thomas. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And my website is ValarieSThomas.com. And I started a new blog called The Mommy Goddess. It's MOMMIE Goddess.com. So you can reach me on there. Also, if you have children, it's a great blog. So that's where you can get me. You can also find me on Amazon also and follow me there.
Okay, you guys, you heard it again. For those that didn't get that, you can go back and replay this message and listen to it again. I want to give a special shout-out to the UBAWA family, Valarie, and the crew for allowing me to do this, for believing in me. God bless you guys. I love you very much. And I want to thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it here first. Miss Valarie S. Thomas, the authoress of The Griot. Make sure you guys check it out. Reach out to her. Again, my name is Stevenson. I am your host. If you ever need me for hosting, emceeing, whatever, reading, I have a book out as well. I don't promote my book on here because I'm respecting her time. You guys can reach me at steventhefatherfigure@gmail.com. I thank you again, Miss Valarie. I thank you again, listeners. You guys have a blessed evening. UBAWA, shout out to you again. As always, I say same time, same place next week. God bless you all. Have a pleasant night and a pleasant week. Take care.
Thank you, Stevenson. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You're welcome, Valarie. I'll be in touch. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye.
Bye.